Long video today, guys. Longer than what we've been posting here lately. Sawdust in my eye, you can see. Kind of burned from that walnut dust. We put a lot of trees on the ground today. We burned through just a little over 2 gallons of gas in the saws this morning. Cutting those bigger trees, working them up, it does take a lot of gas. But yeah, we between me and Dad cutting, we put some serious trees on the ground. Dad started out barking trees in the back where we started this morning. As we moved forward, I had a lot of those trees already barked, and Dad got into cutting, so we laid some trees down. I'm not going to talk too long today. I'm going to let you get right into the action. 2 weeks from today, come see us at the expo in Richmond, Virginia. Shanae and I will be out there with logger threads and timber tracker. I'm excited. I've never been to Virginia, never been out there. So I've only been out on the East Coast just a couple times. So this will be a pretty fun little road trip for me. So we're looking forward to seeing a lot of people out there. Looking forward to meeting a lot of guys, seeing a lot of cool stuff. I love these expos. They're a lot of fun. If you've never been to one, you get a chance and you're close, come on out to Richmond. Or if you're not close like us, drive 20 hours. Come out and hang out at Richmond. We're excited about it. We're going to leave, I think, on a Wednesday afternoon. Get out there and try to set up Thursday. Then we'll be ready to go for Friday and Saturday for the big expo. A lot of fun. Looking forward to it. Guys, check out all the great things we're doing on logger threads. We're going to release some new designs called the mulcher. I've had a lot of requests for you guys to do right-of-way work and mulcher and forestry mulching type stuff. Pretty awesome design. I'm pretty pleased with some new colors we're sporting too. Check that out. I'm going to let you get right into the video. I've learned how to post links and stuff with my video. My video editing skills they're really coming along. I'm really proud. I'm almost dastardly in a way, aren't I? Enjoy the video, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Enjoy the weekend. We didn't come up here yesterday. It was raining, and we started to, but we didn't know how much rain they got. They haven't got, luckily, they didn't get a whole lot right here at the job site, but it don't take much to make things a mess up here. So me and Dad were talking about it this morning. We wish we'd have just come on up and cut, but they're on the way. The next town over from where we live, they had 3.5 inches, so we were kind of expecting the worst. We're just going to cut today. We're going to try to get a bunch of these laid down and let this ground settle at least another day, if not 2, just to be sure that we don't make a muddy mess or track things up too bad. Like I said, it's not bad, but you can see it's greasy, and that's just one more thing you got to worry about when you're running in the mud, just slipping and sliding around and tearing things up. So we're here in the back side of this where a lot of these big trees are, and we're just going to try to work on sawing these things down today. There's a big tall one there. Dad's barking a good one. Of course, I made roads back through here with a skid steer the other day, so we can kind of get around on the Ranger and have good walking roads to the trees. I'm just finishing up fueling up the saw here, getting ready to get to it. So hopefully this weather will hold off for a few days. I know they're calling for some rain again. Possibility of a chance Sunday, which we're going to work all weekend. And I think there's a couple chances next week. So hopefully it'll kind of hold off and we can get the wraps on this job, because we've got some other jobs we need to get to. This is, unless something changes, it's the last job we've got here in Harrisonville, this one right here. And like I said, that can all change in a day, but we don't have any other neighbors to look at or cut on right now. So we've about got the wraps up here. So we've got a lot of other work to do we need to get to, but once you get to a place, it's kind of hard just to pull off when you keep getting timber. We'll get out here and start gnawing these down, get them on the ground ready to go. That's a monstrosity there. Has a big tree, and you can kind of see the curve in it. It had a hard lean over here. Normally we wouldn't cut things this small, which it's not that it's a bad tree, it's just small, but if we hadn't have, this big tree would have destroyed it. So we went ahead and cut this one first. And luckily, you know, it landed high enough in this crotch up here. The top landed high enough up here. It didn't, you know, it basically ruined this limb here, which I hate that, I do. But there's some of those things that just they're almost unavoidable without taking the top out first. But the main thing is that the main body's good. It didn't affect the main body at all. But yeah, that's a real big tree. It cut off real pretty in the butt. A lot of footage in this log, which, yeah, we're busted pretty bad up here. I might try to salvage a 6-foot log out of it, because like I said, I don't like leaving anything. And we'll still pull a piece out of this limb over here, but good tree. Good tree. We've cut quite a few this morning. Dad's he's been barking ahead of me, and this is his first tree of the morning. I'm hung up back here, so I come to get the hammer and wedge to kind of get myself out. I'm back here a little ways. We've worked at the back, and we're trying to just work our way to the front, which there's still several trees in the back. We're gonna have to pull or push on with a tree pusher and a grapple. The main thing is not to clog up these roads I've made. Just kind of cut what we can, but don't just make a big traffic jam or a log jam out of things. The little top's starting to rock, so Dad's probably got her all bored out. Yeah, he's clipping the spurs now. There she goes. There's nice and easy. Hung up. It's actually, I've been trying to, when I bore these out, I'm trying to cut some of the spurs off on some of these just to try to be a little better at the placement, to get them to fall in between areas. That way we're opening up the canopy a lot, but the key is not to damage any of these other trees around, which, like that one there, I mean, some of that stuff, you can't help it. I mean, to make an omelet, I guess you got to break a few eggs, the old saying goes, but we're trying our best to really be careful in placement. See, we've cut all back in here, and the canopy looks really good, just because we're trying to really watch our tree placement. When I'm done, I want this place to look like a park. I mean, a park that's had the timber cut off of it, but a park nonetheless. We're gonna cut this guy. Here's where I'm hung up, and it's my own dumb fault, because I went too far when I bored through. I went too far through on my back cut, and it's wanting to lean this way, which I'm barely hung up. That saw, I'm sure if I worked at it long enough, I could work it loose, because it's barely hung up. But I've got backside spur holding and that big front side spur holding. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna try to lay this guy kind of right in here, this little open area right here. Then we'll cut this. Now this is I'm sure some of you guys, I've always, my buddy Jeff Mason over in Illinois, he always talked about cherry bark oak, which we don't have nothing like that here in the part of Missouri I'm in. But we have, working on this little creek here the last few weeks, we have seen a lot of this walnut, like a cherry bark walnut almost. And it's always really dark wood, very, very thin sapped. I was even talking to one of my log buyers about it, and he was calling it a cherry bark walnut. And we were talking about it one day. He said, you know, it's just, he said it seems to him like it's a little softer wood when they run it through the mill. It makes real pretty lumber. I've never seen any of them that are really great big in size, you know, 18, 20 inches, maybe the biggest, but they've always got a real good thin sap line. Usually the thinnest sap lines we see on our walnut are from these cherry bark type of walnut. which I don't think it's a different species. I don't know. I'm not that far into silviculture, but you can definitely tell a difference from a logger's perspective on cutting it and just the presentation of it, which it brings good money, and that's what we like for our clients and ourselves. So I'm going to pound this wedge in here, get my saw on hinge, and just like a lot of these trees in here, you can see they've all cut good, thankfully, but they are on their downhill slide. You can see all those little dead limbs coming out of them. There's one there. Oh, that other one he hung up. That went down. Dad's pretty good about stuff like that. He's pretty good about stuff like that. Anyway, but yeah, these trees, they're on their downhill life cycle, especially some of these big ones in the back here. And there is literally, like I've stated before, there is a ton of younger walnut in here. A ton of younger walnut. You could easily, in 10 years, harvest this stand again. Easily harvest it again in 10 years. Because it'll grow really good down here. I've noticed a lot of the growth rings on these trees are, even though these trees are thin sapped, the growth rings are spaced quite far apart. But I can't talk. So they're really growing good. Let me get this wedge in here, see if we can get the saw out, and we'll get back to cutting. We'll try to set the phone up over here. Actually, let's just see if we can do that now. It's harder now that we got some vegetation going on. I don't know what you can see and what you can't see, but maybe you can see something. Now, we use metal wedges. I like metal wedges a lot better. They last. Right here. Come on now. That's probably all it needs. A little more. Try it now. There's nothing like something making you look like an idiot. Whew. There we go. Let's bring this guy on down. Take my wedge out. Set it over here with you guys. There we go. Like I said, nothing to make you look like an idiot when you're trying not to be an idiot. So, got her down. You can see right there where the saw was hung up right there. And it went right in there. Perfect. Right in there where it didn't. The tree that it hit was already kind of tore up, so that worked out really good. Worked out really good. Man, you talk about a dangerous tree. That leans really hard. And, I mean, you can tell in the video it leans hard. But these videos don't do a lot of things justice. Like incline and decline on hills and tree lean. Now, this is a pretty good tree. It's going to be tricky to bring down. The first thing we're going to do, we're going to cut this grapevine. That's the last thing we need, and that thing goes to falls to come back here and try to decapitate us. We'll trim this up a little bit here, because when it goes, we're really gonna have to kind of get back out of the way, because that thing could kick back a little bit. We're gonna leave some of that front side hold right there, just a little bit of that front hold. We'll bore out straight through and come back, then we'll come straight down with our hinge or spur cut, whatever you guys want to call it. I call it what you want. Different parts of the country call it different things. But anyway, that's how we're gonna try to bring this beast down. And I had to cut everything out here first, because this thing's wanting to go right out here into those where they were. So now if they're on the ground, we can get it cut, but gonna be tricky. There's really no place to set the phone to see this monstrosity coming to blows, I don't think. Let me yeah, actually I think maybe I can bring you guys with me for this. We'll set you back here. We'll set you right back here. There we go, I think. Yeah. thing was hollow. The minute I punched into it there. Scary. Scary stuff. It always worries me that those things might kick back on you. It's bad. See, that's the first one we've cut that's been bad so far. But it was leaning over. The roots are starting to get exposed from flooding, erosion. I don't think that'll go too far up in there. There'll still be some good wood in that tree. But they can be trees like that are dangerous. They can be tricky to get down. Like I said, I always try to leave some front wood hold on that tree to kind of hold it up like a stilt. And really, like I said, that it didn't go bad. I'm not going to say it went bad, but it could have went smoother had it have been a sound tree. But the main thing is we got it down safely and didn't tear up anything in the process. So to me, that's a win-win. So let's get it worked up. Dad's out there cutting. I got to head out, meet him, and start cutting on the upper end of things.